Hey guys, welcome to WebZeta. In this one, I'm going to be talking about Svelte transitions. Transitions is when element changes its state from maybe, let's say, it's hidden to visible, or from one, it moves from one place to another. These are called transitions. If you don't have any transitions applied, we apply transitions usually through CSS. If there are no transitions applied, it happens very suddenly. It may not look good. That's where CSS transitions come in handy. We can make the change smoother. That's exactly what we're doing here. And in Svelte, it's way easier. I'll show you how to do this. So you have this documentation that you can go through about Svelte transitions. So these are all the functions available for you to apply. It covers almost everything. So I'm going to use some of them and show you how it works. Let's open REPL here. So a good thing about Svelte is that you don't really need any script tag for the REPL to work. So you can just have just a h1 tag and it will still work. That's something really good about Svelte. Because as a designer, I want just the HTML to work. That's exactly what happens in Jekyll. But anyway, let's try out some transitions. So first thing is I have to import those functions. I think I have two eyes here. Import these functions from Svelte transition. Okay, so one thing is you can import any one of them or all of them or whichever you need. And okay, I have two F's. Fine. All right, so I will have a box here instead of just hello. I have a division. Not sure why it is typing twice. Is there something wrong with REPL? I don't know. So this is enough. I'll give it a class box, and I'll write a style for it. So dot box can be big, maybe a width of 400 pixels, height of 400 pixels, indentation. Okay. Background color of some color, or yeah, that should be okay. And then yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so this box is already visible. If it is hidden and then it is visible, then it would be easier for us to see the transition. So I will have a condition here, if condition, if show, and I'm ending that if. So if show is true, only then this will show up. So I will call this variable show to be true by default. So if show, it's true, so that is why it is showing up. And I'll have a input checkbox maybe. Oh, okay, so I'm used to type in VS Code and this is kind of hard. The type should be checkbox. And now all right, yeah, if checked is true or checked is false, we can assign that to show here. So one way to do is using bind checked equals show. So this, I'm guessing you probably already know how to do this, but if you don't, you can refer to future videos of mine. I mean, that will be coming up, not right now. So what happens here is when I click on this, the show variable becomes false because it depends on checked. So that's how it works. Anyway, so now when I click on it, it shows, or goes away. It hides, and it happens quickly, right? So I can use something called fade here, applied to this div. So let's apply fade here. So the way we apply is transition, fade, and that should be it. Okay, so you see that there is a fading happening, and it has some default settings. So you can also change that with the variables, but I'll show you one more thing. So you can have transition for just when the element shows, and not when the element goes away. So that's by in. Now when I click on it, it has a fade effect when it comes in, um, and not when it goes out. Okay, so if I change that out, now when it goes out, it has a fade effect, but when it comes in, it comes suddenly. But if you use transition, it happens smoothly on both cases. Okay, now I can add some things here, some parameters that I want, how long it has to um, happen in milliseconds. I can give like 2 seconds. That's 20. For 2 seconds, the transition should happen. So now the transition is a little smoother, right? There are other parameters that I can try, but for now I'm gonna keep it for 2 seconds so that we can see all the changes. Now we'll try blur. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it blurs out, and while coming in, it blurs. Okay, fly. Fly here, nothing really happens here because you have to define axis. Let's imagine x is 30, then it flies away like this to the x direction. I mean, in the x-axis, let's say it's 300 pixels. Then it goes like this. This is cool, and it comes in. Maybe we can do y as well on the y-axis. Let's do the same so that it moves in a diagonal. Yep, this is cool. Okay, so that's how fly. You can try slide, scale, etc. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have one more, maybe a circle inside of this box. Let's see, I'll call that circle. Okay, so I'm gonna give it some style since it is not visible. We'll have a width of 100 pixels, maybe the same height. It could be too much, but that's okay. Background color, let's have white, that way it's visible. Okay, so it's a square box right now that you can already see. I'll have a border radius of 100%. That becomes a circle, and now I have to place it in the center. So this is something harder for many people. I think a easier way is to use display with grid or flex, and then have place items center. That should take care of all the centering part. I'm not sure why it isn't happening now. Place items center. Okay, it's probably something wrong. I'll just check it out. Okay, yeah, why I'm applying it to the child, I have to apply it to the parent. Yeah. That should do it. Yeah, so now we have it in the center, and we'll apply some transitions to this as well. Transition fly equals just fly is enough, I think. So now you see that this one is as well, I mean the child is as well as the parent. They are transitioning. I'll have extended so that way it goes to the side. Okay, so this one I'll have it as fade, and I'll remove these things that's not required for fade. Okay, now you see that when I do this, the transition is kind of okay, but the child also has a transition. So I'll have a label here, so that way I'll know which is child and which is parent. And this is parent. I'll have another one. Child and input. Oh. I'll bind this to checked state, but with a different variable. I'll call this child. Why not? Okay. It's true. Okay. And now here I have to have if condition very similar to the one we had here, just that it is child now. And the if. Okay, can be simpler. Okay, yeah. Now if I click on child here, I mean only that animates, and if I click on parent, both animate. So let's imagine you just when you click on parent, you don't want the child to be animated. In that case, what you can do is you can in the transition of child, you can add a pipe here and call it local. So when you mention it as local, the when a parent transition happens, the child will not be affected, and child will only get the transition when it changes. It explicitly changes, not when the parent changes. So this way your animations become smooth if you have too many of them, one inside the other. So that's about transition. All right, you can try all these transitions, but I think by now you will already know how to use these. You just change the function name here to them, and you can apply some of these parameters, and it should start working. Now if you don't understand what they are, you can always go to the documentation and look at what are the parameters you can apply. Now for now I'll just show you how draw works. It's actually a cool animation that is specifically made for SVGs. Now SVGs look like somebody's drawing them. So it works for SVGs that are made with strokes. I mean, if you're not sure what SVGs are, then it's totally fine. I'm gonna get one SVG from somewhere, like, okay, which one would look good for a transition? Yeah, maybe this. I'll take this, and I will, instead of child, I don't need the child right now, and even the parent, so I'm just gonna remove that and have this cool looking jar test tube here. I will change the stroke width to 1. That's actually cooler. Yeah, so I think the fill is none, so we can have a color here, I think. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, so this is a fill stroke. Yeah, so this is cool. All right, so we are animating the path, only the path. So I will have this if show condition to the path. I'll end it inside this SVG. All right. Okay, so child I'm gonna remove because we are not using it. We just have the parent box and circle. We don't need that. This is what it's saying at the bottom, that you have those and you're not using it. That's something cool with Svelte. Anyway, label must be associated, so I don't have a for field here. That is why it's asking. That's okay. I mean, we don't need that. Now here I'm gonna add transition to this path. So something is wrong. Okay, transition draw. I think that should be enough. All right, this is not required. Now if I check this, okay, so did you see that? I'll change the duration to some same thing for 2 seconds. Maybe it's the width is too much, that is why we are seeing it so big. That's okay. Yeah, did you see that? Let me see if I can change the width. Yeah, this is good. All right, so when I check this, that's how it happens, and when I click again, it draws. So if it is like, if it is delayed for more, I mean if duration is more, it looks even cooler, that it's kind of like somebody's drawing it. If it is a single line stroke, then it looks even way cooler. All right, so I think you understood how to use these effects. Let me know if you have tried it on something, or you have a website and you want to try these animations and you use Svelte on it. Then let me know. This is a cool technology. All right, guys.